All right, guys, so let's continue this Cowboys discussion because they are no strangers to off-the-field issues. And we all saw what Greg Hardy did on the sidelines last week. We also all heard Jerry Jones say that he's one of the real leaders on this team. Coach, how are these off-the-field issues going to affect them?
Well, I don't know about the off-the-field issues. Let's talk about the Greg Hardy. First, unless you've been in the locker room, on the field, on the sideline, that's not that big a deal, right, guys? We've all been a part of the emotional outburst. You deal with it, particularly when you're on an 0-4 run here. That is not untypical. It's what happened afterwards that's so disappointing. The way Greg Hardy blew it off afterwards. The way Jerry Jones, I'll be honest with you, when you enable the players the way Jerry Jones, and we didn't hear from Jason Garrett right away. We heard from Jerry Jones, which is the MO. I think at some point, I do a lot of corporate speaking, okay? And everybody wants to talk about creating a culture. When you see a coach hired, a CEO hired, the first thing he talks about is we're going to create a culture of winning, of brotherhood, whatever it is going to be. Well, Jerry Jones has to look real hard at, he's created a culture. There's a reason you've got 2 wins in the last 19 years. That you've enabled some of the players.
That's a culture.
You know, and at some point, the fact, and now what does Jason Garrett do? How does he reel in a Greg Hardy or even a Des Bryant when they can look at him and go, hey, coach, forget you. The owner says I'm fine. He says I'm a leader. He's going to give me a new contract. Forget you. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Not a healthy environment.
Yeah, Coach, you know, I have to disagree with you a little bit. And yes, we do see a lot of emotions happen on the sideline. We've all been guilty of doing things on the sideline. But to go into a special teams huddle, okay, which you don't play special teams, to go in there and put your hands on a coach, slap a clipboard out of his hands, that's uncalled for. There's no room in this game for it. And I've been a guy who left one team, was a leader on one team, and been put in a leadership role on another team, and he wasn't there last year. And if that was Des Bryant going into that special teams huddle, I'd be all for it. Okay, but you haven't been there long enough to go to be able to go in this huddle and tell me what to do and slap a board out of my coach's hand. And coach, going back to what you said, I'm concerned outside of the facility. Okay, Fridays are when we have the most off time possible during the season. Okay,
he has Thursdays
too. But I'm concerned with if you're at a bar, if you're at a club or whatever. Okay, you're feeling invincible. Okay, if you can't be controlled at work, if nothing happens to you, no reprimands or anything happens for you putting your hands on a coach and disrespecting a coach, how can you expect this guy to behave himself on a Friday night?
Yeah.
How can you expect it?
It sounds to me like what you're saying, and I agree with you. He thinks he's above the law. And that's where it's a problem now for Jason Garrett. And shame on you, Jerry Jones, that you're going to sit up there and you're going to tell us, I want to give this guy a contract extension. He's a leader on my team. No, he's not. No. You know who the leaders are on this team? Jason Witten, Tony Romo, all right? Rolando McClain, the guys that have been there longer, Tyrone Crawford, Brandon Carr. Those guys are leaders. This guy's just been, he just showed up. Here's Jerry Jones. All he cares about is what is he doing on the field. Yeah. So that's why Jerry says, hey, I want to give him a contract. But to me, it's disrespectful to your team, to your players, to disrespect a coach like that. And now, if that special teams coach, how is he supposed to go into that meeting room now after getting disrespected by a player and now lead these other men? So Jason Garrett's got to find a way to reel this thing in. But I'll just say this. We just saw our commissioner go on a crusade against Tom Brady for integrity of the game. Doesn't this fall under integrity of the game? Shouldn't we hold Greg Hardy more accountable for what he does and says on and off the field? Damn it, this is the NFL. It's a privilege. I don't like the fact that he's abusing it. They need to stand up and do
calm down, big dog. Don't hurt nobody.
No,
don't hurt nobody, man. Don't hurt
nobody. He's got to understand the situation, and he's lucky to be in the NFL right now, given what he's going through. Respect the damn process.
And one thing, Greg, you make too much money to be a thug, bro. You're not a thug.
Well, it's a very interesting, you talk about Jason Garrett, it's a very interesting dynamic out there for them because he and Jerry have sort of a father-son relationship, and I've had many discussions with both of them. Like, Jason handles this better than many coaches would, accepts that involvement.
But is he handling
from him?
Both the Des Bryant and this, Jason Garrett was not to be found because of the culture that says, okay, this isn't Jerry's court. Jerry's not on that sideline the whole game. At some point, you got to give the head coach control.
All right. Well, this discussion is not over. Obviously, very passionate about it here on this set.